How's it going, everyone? Tim here, Trd Adventures. Hope everyone's all well out there. As always, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. So today we got the base camp back on here, going for round 2 of upgrades. In that last video, we did several upgrades to the base camp: axle housing, some brass portal covers, some shock modifications, upgraded steering servo, threw a servo winch in there, just a couple other small little things. For this next round, I finished out tactile electronics, motor, and ESC are in there and ready to rock and roll. We also went over some visual changes there. So first up, we did go with a new body. While I don't mind the stock body that it comes with, I'm okay with the generic Toyota-esque that it is. It is a lightweight and simple body. So, I mean, when it comes to performance and stuff, I mean, obviously that is a very good body. You know, it has plenty of clearance and stuff like that, and it's lightweight, so that's obviously going to help. But I did want to change that up just a little bit. So it was, kind of generic Toyota. So we actually went with and made it a Toyota. Here we are using the Proline 2015 Tacoma Trd Pro. They released this, a while ago, and I've been wanting to pick up one of these bodies for quite some time. So went ahead and picked one up, and I was like, this is going to be, I think, just a perfect fit on this build and everything else like that. So overall, everything there came out pretty good. I did like this body a lot. It does come with several pre-molded pieces. We have the grill here, headlight buckets. It does come with molded taillight buckets, but I forgot to tape those off, so I actually painted over all of that. So no taillight buckets right now. It does come with wipers, door handles, and a few other bits and pieces in there, as well as some decals. I think everything came out pretty good. I did spray the inside, and then I did paint the outside of this mast and taped everything off. We went with the good old-fashioned Toyota stripes there, and did just a little bit of weather in there. So overall, I don't think it came out too shabby there. Able to do some aggressive trimming there on the flares. Took off the whole rear bumper here, most of the front bumper, and did some aggressive trimming there. Overall worked out great. This trimming here and everything really helped. So my tires, I'm not hitting the body very much at all. I got plenty of room in the rear, and everything there came out really well, and everything just kind of set down. In addition with the body, I did go ahead and do some work on front and rear bumpers. Like I mentioned in the previous video, I didn't mind the stock bumpers. They hung up a lot less than I thought they would. The front bumper was okay here with approach angle. You would have some tire rubbing here, so I did on the stock bumper, I did trim out just a little bit of the corner there just to help with some clearance with the tires. And the rear bumper, I said this angle here I did like, but the part I did not like with the stock rear bumper was this piece right here. If you came down just enough at the right angle, a rock would catch right there and would just completely hang up the truck. I did some digging through the parts bin, and I found a couple bumpers that worked out really well. So right here in the front, nothing crazy. This is just one of the stock 10-2 CRC bumpers. They came on like the Deadbolt, a couple of the Jeeps, and a couple other models. Just a simple, clean, low profile bumper there. Nice approach and everything like that. And I was able to get it tucked all the way in, and then I took a drill and made a slot there and bolted a fairlead through it and pulled the winch line through. So that also came out really good there, and everything right here in the front just kind of came out perfect. The way it lines up right there with the body, and I have a lot more clearance right here for the tires when turning, and at full articulation, nothing hitting there on the bumper. For the rear, I'm not 100% satisfied with what I have on here right now. It had a metal tube style bumper laying around, and it did fit in here. And I've seen bumpers of this style in the one-to-one world, mostly pre-runner style bumpers where everything's tucked basically up in there as much as it is. So right here it hangs down a little bit, but it is flat right here. So where the stock bumper was hanging down and catching rocks, right here I gained a lot more clearance there. Those came out really good, and was able to find parts just laying around. I also did put an interior in the body. Nothing crazy. This is just one of the generic Lexan interiors off Amazon, and I just cut the interior until it fit in there, and everything was good. And it did cut a lot of it out, but it's actually not even, I didn't even permanently secure this in there. I just cut it, and it fit, and it actually hooks kind of right over the door handle pins, so it's actually in there pretty good. The next thing there that I had done, I had my man Theron give me some 3D printing. So these are slider covers for the 10-3. I believe they were on My Manufactory. I'll get those linked down below. He got these printed up for me to, kind of clean up this underside there, because in the stock form, there are ribs and everything there where they're hanging down. So this just really smooths and just cleans everything up there. And it does still have cutouts here. If I decide to get some sliders and put some sliders on here, I still have ways to get those in there and attach them. And just one of those little touches that I think make a significant difference. Moving on down into electronics. So last video we did servo, we have servo winch in here, and then motor and ESC with a good old brush setup here. So motor wise here, we have the Holmes crawlmaster Expert 13T motor. Very good motor, and it is budget friendly. It's about 50-60 bucks depending on where you can find it if you have coupons. It is a 5-slot motor. Smooth startup, smooth control. Used plenty of these motors before, and I've always had great luck with them, so nothing to worry about there in the motor department. Then ESC wise, I did install this in the last video, but I chose to wait to go over it until this one. So normally when I'm doing like a brush setup like this or just swapping out stock electronics for others, normally I will go with my standard Hobbywing 1080 ESC or one of these Spectrum ESC receiver combos. For brush, they work really good, and I've had great luck with that ESC. But this time I wanted to try something a little different. I know I've seen videos, and I'm sure you guys have seen videos too. I picked up one of the ISDT ESC70s. They have been out for quite some time, but they were hard to get for a while. I got it off of Amazon. It was 30 bucks with Prime shipping. So 30 bucks, I am beyond impressed with this ESC combo. So setup wise, it is very similar to the 1080. You do have to put your battery connector on of your choice and solder in some bullets for your motor, or attach your motor direct if that's how you choose. So setup there, very standard. But the cool part and the kicker with this ESC, when it comes to tuning, you know, like your others, you need your standard program card. Plug it in, change your settings, and you choose your numbers, whatever you want. So this ESC is Bluetooth capable. And in the instructions, it tells you what app to download and how to get everything connected. So you power it on, open the app on your phone, make sure all your connections are good via Bluetooth, and then everything will illuminate. And then you can go through and start changing your settings. Motor direction, BEC voltages, startup power, brake force, lots of stuff like that. So you can actually, super capable. You don't have to worry about plugging it in. You just open the app, change your settings as you go. One very, very important thing that I like having the ability to tune with my ESCs, like in all my comp trucks, running Castle and stuff like that, I can, with this ESC and the app, you can actually tune the throttle curve, which is super, super awesome. Helps out so much with the startup and also in the reverse of the vehicle. Now this also has like active drag brake feature, very, very similar to the Hobbywing FOC, which I'm hit and miss on how I feel about that. In certain situations, I really, really like it. Other situations, like I didn't want it to do that. So that's hit and miss. But for this truck, I think it's going to be just fine. And I have been playing with that a little bit, and so far it's worked out really, really well. I've taken it out several times now, and I've had zero issues and zero complaints with the ESC itself. And with its price point, I think I may have found my new go-to ESC if I'm pick up something and swapping out some stock electronics or just getting a brush setup going. I think this is probably going to be my new go-to ESC. It was super simple to install, and the tuning features are awesome. And just the additional features are definitely worth it, especially for $30. That price point, it makes it extremely, extremely hard to beat, if beatable at all. So that is a wrap on round 2 of upgrades. And at this point, I really don't have much further, if at all, to go. One other thing that I do want to address at some point, I probably will swap out these stock links with some nice quality high clearance links, just more strength and durability, maybe some shock towers if I somehow end up breaking one. Because at this point, for what I use this truck for, this is mostly trail truck. When it's too muddy, I don't feel like taking out any of my comp trucks. This will go out, and we do have a stock class that we do run here occasionally, and this does fit. Everything that I've changed to make sure it is still fit and legal in the way we run the class here. I can't go much further as it is anyway, because there are rules that we do have for the stock class that everything does need to fit, and a few of those other mods that I would potentially look at doing, I'm not going to do because I want to make sure it is still perfectly legal for the way we run it here. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel down below if you haven't already, and until next time, everyone, have a great one and crawl on.